Well, how come you haven't taken your shirt off on stage?
I mean, I've taken my shirt off before. I'm sharing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not private about my body.
I'm not private about my body.
Well, some people would argue that you should be based on what's happening.
Fully Loaded is coming your way this summer, the biggest party of the summer with the best comedians in the world. Rogers, Arkansas, Camdenton, Missouri, Brandon, Mississippi, and Orange Beach, Alabama. I'll throw the party. All you got to do is show up.
How fun is this? Hey, asshole, I'm talking to you.
I know. I'm trying to get Peter to get me a fucking drink.
I want a drink.
No. I have a person I pay fairly kind of nicely that I just told.
He had a beer at 11 o'clock this morning at my house.
Oh, that's early.
That was great.
Yeah, he had breakfast, and then he's like, okay, now I ate. I
had an electrolyte drink.
Yeah, and then you're like, ready, it's time.
Did you work out?
No, I'm not an athlete.
No. Do you work? You work out every day, right?
Day, yeah.
I work out every day.
Yeah.
Hey, would you tell Peter to come up here? I don't know why.
Should we make our request for what kind of drinks we want? Do you want me to try that vodka?
I would love for you to try it.
I'll mix it with this tropical punch I just grabbed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Are you an Olipop fan?
It's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite. Some of the combos I don't like strawberry cream. I don't want a strawberry cream soda. I don't like that.
I love strawberry cream.
I don't like vanilla soda.
Oh, I love vanillas.
Yeah.
I love vanillas.
We have opposite palates, probably.
Do you like Sour Patch Kids?
Yes, I love Sour Patch Kids, but I really love gummy bears. That is my all-time favorite. Cold gummy bears in the fridge.
Okay,
that's where it's at for me.
What about Swedish Fish?
Yes. Okay,
so if you go to a convenience store and you can pick sweet or chocolatey, like tropical or chocolatey, where do you go?
Well, not tropical. Why?
Like tropical,
that's not sweet. Tropical is not sweet. You're not making any sense now.
Like gummy bears and all that is like a tropical flavor.
Is it? There's a range of flavors like strawberry. Yeah, I guess you could call it tropical, but
like Starbursts, Now and Later's,
okay.
Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah.
Like, do you go that or do you go chocolate? Like if you want a treat.
Probably Swedish Fish or gummy bears.
Really?
Yeah.
Always chocolate.
Yeah. I like chocolate though.
I just got introduced to Sour Patch Kids. Like
how?
In the last 3. I never liked sour.
Really?
I know
sour is the best. In a drink too, a sour cocktail, that's good.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I don't like sweet. Too sweet I don't like.
I was going through.
Do you want soda water or do you want Canada Dry?
No, I have some soda water over here. What's that liquid death? Oh, the water?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't want any of that. You want my mic closer? Do you want my headphones on?
No.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Can't wait to.
That looks good.
You want a sip of this?
No, I don't. I'm when it comes to alcohol, I'm a clean person. I don't like too much fruit. Like I'll have a margarita, but I can't do a bunch of margaritas.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Nice. You are the consummate vodka drinker. Like
I used to be. I had to transition to gin for a period of time. I think I'm slowly coming out of that because for some reason vodka just started to taste like gasoline. I mean, It is gasoline. It's like rubbing alcohol.
It is. It's when we got into the spirits game, there was so much diversity in like whiskeys and tequilas and vodka is pretty much just like it's like a fastball. If it does but I think if you drink a lot of vodka, like when you were a big vodka drinker, what was your vodka drink?
Belvedere on the rocks with a splash of soda, and by splash I meant like Belvedere on the rocks.
No, I saw what you meant last night.
Yeah.
You said to her, "Are we working as a team here or what?"
Yeah, I want to make sure the bartenders know right away what's going on. Make that connection clear. I'll be back. I'm going to be very generous. Let's get into the rhythm of what's this exchange. Definitely.
Was there a vodka you wouldn't drink?
Yeah, like Tito's has got corn syrup in it. So that's, even though people love Tito's, I don't want corn syrup, any extra corn syrup. In addition to the corn syrup I'm getting from all the gummy bears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to do a corn syrup.
Do you count calories?
No, I don't. I try not to count anything really.
Have you ever been fat?
Chubby. When? Chubbier, yeah. I mean, I'm smaller now than I used to be.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be a little curvier. Yeah, now I'm just a lean, mean muscle machine.
I remember the first time I ever saw you do stand-up, I fucking was blown away.
Really? Where was it? At the Improv?
You rolled in. You're a different beast. I feel bummed that kids these days that are blowing up, like that, Like all my friends, Matt Rife and Shane Gillis and Mark Normand, they never got to see what older stand-up was like what the world was when I started. I remember when I started, and this is like, it just didn't fucking exist. You rolled in with 3, what I could only describe supermodels into the fucking Improv to do a 15-minute set. You rolled in at the time you were supposed to go on. You're like, you looked at me and you're like, how's the crowd? And something, I was like, good. I didn't know who you were. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck are these women? You went up, absolutely fucking ripped the room in half, walked off stage, and you guys went out to a bar. And I went, what the fuck did I just witness?
Definitely tracks. That sounds exactly like my movement, for sure.
Daniel Tosh, I think, was with me, and I was like, who the fuck is that? And he's like, Chelsea Handler. She's fucking. And then I noticed that, like, you were, at the time, you were writing on a bunch of shows too.
Was I? No, I wasn't writing. I never wrote on anyone's shows.
Someone told me one story about you that I thought was so fucking funny.
Tell me.
You go, oh fuck! I want to say that I want to say the guy's name was Doug Wilson.
Who's that? Is that a comic?
No. He's an executive producer on a TV show, or maybe Mark Cronin.
Okay.
And they were telling me about this chick that rolled in hungover and fucking and goes, I'm coming in hot today to the writer's room, and you fucking were there for like fucking 2 hours. You lit it up. And you're like, I'm done. That's all you're getting out of me today. I was just that confidence. I always thought that was so cool.
Well, I think everything comes in bursts. You know what I mean? Especially creativity. And you have to be respectful of those bursts. So when you're feeling it, you got to go for it. But you also know when to like kind of shut it down.
Yeah.
Don't try to like over create. That's not effective.
I also think what's crazy is I don't think people know what the Rogan bump was like, the being in the Rogan camp. And you could, if you did Rogan, you sold tickets. I don't think people remember the fucking Chelsea camp. That was fucking undeniable.
Yeah, it was a great avenue for comics to get, like seen and heard, all of those comics. It was fucking awesome to see all these people having this massive success when that was like the first TV show they were ever on is so cool. Like Fortune Feimster, Jo Koy, Kevin Hart was like, Kevin Hart was fucking on the round table, being his little asshole self.
Kevin Hart was, and he was coming up to you confident as shit going like, I'm going to be a superstar.
Oh, he drew the line. He was like, at one point, he had been doing the round table as a regular comic. He was one of our like A-list ones that was like always delivered, was always funny. And his managers called one day and they were like, listen, Kevin is no longer going to be on the round table. He's only coming on as a guest now. And I was like, who the fuck does he think he is? But I respected it because I was like, oh, that's something I would say, like I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. Good for him for saying that. And he did become obviously a star.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Did you think when you got into the business that you were going to have this career?
There's really no nice way to say that, to answer that without sounding arrogant. But yes, I did. And not in an arrogant way, in a super confident, like I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I knew what I wanted out of life. And I wanted to have a big, huge, exciting life. And I wanted to have a lot of money so I could do what I want and say yes to things and say no to things and not be beholden to a boss or a studio or for my full gig. You know what I mean? I write books. I do my podcast. I have my stand-up tour. I'm doing my Vegas residency now. Like, I don't have to answer to anyone. And that's intentional.
Were you that as a little girl?
Yeah, I didn't like that either. When people were telling me what to do, teachers, I would be like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, you get a ruler. I'm not fucking bringing rulers to school. They're like, you have to get all these like notebooks for school. I'm like, I'll be here and I'll pick up what I pick up and I'll throw down what I throw down. I'm not fucking getting notebooks. Don't boss me around because I'm in fucking first grade and you think you're superior, that you're smarter than me. You're not. In first grade, I knew I was smarter than everybody. I was like, this is bullshit.
What a frustrating daughter to raise.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine.
You frustrating. Can you imagine my family? How frustrating it was for me. I was trapped in a little girl's body and I felt like a woman. I just wanted to be a woman and have my own place and travel the world. And I was like, fuck, I'm only 6. This is going to take like another 12 years minimum. It was brutal.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a real bitch on wheels. So this is like the actual softer version of me. This is me me bursting into my womanhood.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 49 now, so I'm
You're
down.
49?
Yeah, I'm 49.
You do not look 49.
That's okay. Thank you, though, I guess.
I was gonna say at least 48. No, I always thought you were probably 10 years younger than me.
How old are you?
51.
Oh, I thought you were okay. Yeah, I thought you were a lot older too. Older than 51 for sure. It's hard to tell though with your personality because you obviously have a very youthful personality.
It plays against me.
Very immature for sure.
I'm the opposite of you. I always felt like the youngest kid in the room. I always felt like I still feel like a child. Like I still call my dad up about like questions about money. So I don't know. Money is a tricky area for myself as well. I would rather pay money to not be involved in the details. Yeah.
I would rather pay an extra fee to my business managers to not include me in these conversations.
Did you, I think people forget, can I see if this is accurate? Your career exploded with your first book.
No, I don't know if that's true. I was on the show Girls Behaving Badly for a while, which wasn't a huge show, but it was pretty popular at the time.
I remember that.
And it was a hidden camera show, and I was on it with like 3 other women. And then my book, I wrote my first book. And then I had the Chelsea Handler show, which was the prelude to Chelsea Lately, because it didn't work. So they were trying to, they were like, you know what, you need to like a daily, nightly show on E. We wanted to do that. And then when my next book came out, that came out and the show launched at the same time. And that was pretty much when
The first book was My Horizontal Life?
My Horizontal, a collection of one-night stands, yes.
I remember you would go on Leno and talk about it.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was just at my house and I was with my friend showing him because Leno sent me this thing when they ended the show, or when he retired, they sent me this board of how many appearances I had on Leno. And it was like 26 appearances.
Holy cow.
I know. And I was just on Fallon the other night and he's like, you have like, he goes, you know, you have 4, it was their 10-year anniversary. And he's like, you have 14 appearances here. And I was like, yeah, I go on to, I talk on shows a lot. That's my jam. It's too bad you don't get paid more money to do that.
Yeah.
That is a career.
I've never done really much late night talk shows at all. I've done Kimmel a couple times.
Do you not like them?
I know I do.
Let me ask that again. Do you not like them?
It's like the way I said Lared's name last night.
Last night I saw him at the Forum at the Pearl Jam concert, and he's like, "Oh yeah, have you ever worked out with Lared Hamilton?"
And the woman I was talking to called me on it immedially and was like,
"I also want to mention the wet spot around your penis. That is,
it's just getting worse.
Oh, are you the one that had the zins?
Yeah,
he's the one with the zins, buddy. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
but
I knew it was someone.
Why? How did you? What?
A friend of mine wanted zins, and I was like, "Oh, I was just with someone who had zins," and I thought it was Jeff Ross, and
no,
it wasn't.
It's not Jeff.
It's you.
No, it was me. I got addicted to them. What was I saying before that? Late night talk shows. I don't mind doing them. I prefer long form podcasts. I enjoy the slower conversation.
Yeah, so you don't have to go out there and hit.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's not bad. Like doing him is not bad. I've never really done, and Letterman was really great.
Yeah.
Letterman was awesome.
Right.
But I feel like I talk too fast. I talk too loud. I get too much energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't like who I am when I do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're very good at interviewing thus far.
Thank
I mean,
you.
yeah.
Well, I'm interested in you.
I can tell, and I appreciate that. But a lot of people are interviewing people and have no idea how to interview people.
I don't know how to interview people. I just have questions that I've always wondered about you.
Well, I think being curious is really the only ingredient necessary to be a good interviewer.
Yeah.
As long as you are naturally curious, which you should be around most people, right? I am.
I'm not.
You're not.
Most people, I don't care. Like if I met Eddie Vedder, I'd be very curious, but probably overly curious.
Yes.
And I get into the weeds on something. He was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And so like Laird Hamilton, I'm obsessed with. I think he's so fucking amazing.
Really?
And Gabby Reese, I was in love with Gabby Reese.
Laird Hamilton has a big crush on me. Ask him, and Gabby knows about it. They've talked about it openly.
Yeah.
So next time you see him, ask him how he feels about Chelsea Handler.
Gabby was, when I was a kid in Florida, Gabby was the runway model.
She was so gorgeous.
She went to Florida State.
So hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
I remember meeting her. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But once again, it's like, if I'm interested in people, I have a lot of questions. And I'm a guy who consistently thinks, like, I think about other things a lot. Like, I have friends that, like, I don't think Tom Segura thinks at all. Like, I think he just is dead inside, where he just gets on his phone and scrolls. Like, I think about things. Like, I remember a question I've had for a long time is because you were inspiration. A lot of people started writing books. I mean, writing books wasn't a big thing. I know that people say that it was, but it wasn't.
It was not.
It was not. And when you did it, all of a sudden, everyone's agent was like, you need to write a memoir. And everyone needed an angle. But yours was so authentically unique. And I always wondered, did any of those guys ever come back after you? Because you were so descriptive.
Yes.
You've talked about fucking that redhead. I still think about that guy.
I know him. He's in town. That's Jeff Bayless. He said, he let me use his real name. Do you know Jeff? Oh my God. That's so funny.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. It was Jeff Bayless. Ask him. He loves that. He loves that he's in my book. Everyone, you know what happens is...
Chelsea Handler? I've known Jeff Bayless since he was 5 years old.
That is really fucking funny.
My mom was Jeff Bayless's first grade teacher. My sister was in school with Jeff Bayless her entire life. I've known Jeff Bayless. I think I went to his bar mitzvah. I've known Jeff Bayless. That is fucking... I read that book and I did not know that. If I had known that was Jeff Bayless, I got to call my sister.
I think his name is Jeff in it. Oh no, I call him Red in it. Big Red.
You call him Big Red. I would
Red.
definitely.
Right.
Hold on, I got to call my sister. This is fucking
call
insane.
Jeff Bayless.
I don't have his number.
I bet I do.
I did one.
No, I don't.
I did one audition for him, and I'm like shaking. I can't believe that's Jeff Bayless. I did one audition for him, and it was so bad. And he wanted to give me the part so bad,
and he couldn't because you were so bad.
He was like, "Oh, buddy, hang on. You're never gonna fucking believe this."
What?
I'm sitting with Chelsea Handler. Do you know she had sex? Yeah. She had sex with Jeff Bayless.
We dated. We dated for a few months.
Shut up.
But the main ingredient is that I wrote a chapter about him in one of my books.
She wrote a chapter about him in one of her books, and I read the book, and I remember this guy she talked about. He had red hair, and then she goes, "Yeah, he's in town. His name's Jeff Bayless." I go, my mom taught Jeff. That's fucking crazy.
I went to school with him from like kindergarten until like 10th grade.
Yeah. God damn it, this is a small world.
I forget what I wrote about him in the book. But the better part about it is, wait, don't hang on.
Hang on, don't hang up.
I'm talking. Hi, sister.
This is Annie.
Hi.
Annie?
Yeah.
So the better part is I do remember now, he came up to me years later. I was somewhere out in LA and Jeff Bayless came up to me and said, "Hey, I heard on Big Red." And he was totally flattered about it. Like he was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
I think
even
you said
better.
he had a big dick.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think redheaded men are notorious.
My sister's like, "Oh God."
Sorry.
I love you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love you too. Bye.
That's going to take you a while to. You might not be able to recover for this interview, for the duration of this interview after hearing this information.
I wonder who else I grew up with you had sex with.
It could be anybody.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But everyone was cool because that book.
There he is. Look, there he is.
It's Jeff Bayless.
Oh my God. That's when I dated him. Right there. That. Yes.
He's a great kid.
Yeah, he is actually.
I think his sister's Jennifer Bayless.
I don't know his sister.
Was a year older than me.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. She's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very attractive family. So did you ever get pushback? So I wrote a book and I left everyone's real names in it because you kind of did that. You like kept real like intimate details, and I got a lot of pushback.
Well, there's a legal, like you have to discuss unless you get their permission to talk about them.
I didn't.
Yeah, right. So I don't know who your publisher was, but they don't sound legitimate at all if they didn't get anyone's permission for talking about other people in your book. Because your stories either have to be factual.
Yeah.
But everyone has the right to privacy, like personal. So you can't expose people. So if you're going to change the names, like what happens to me typically, I just turned in my 7th manuscript. So I've written 6 books and I have 7 coming next year. It's the one I just turned in. And typically my experience has been if you change people's names, they come back and they're upset that you didn't use their real name and that they didn't get a little bit of like, notoriety from it. And so it's quite the opposite, but you're talking about a different situation where people are fuck off.
I was told by a fan that he read my book with my Facebook page open. and just clicked on the people that were in it and was like, oh, that's her. Oh, that's him. That's cool. Oh, wow. And then so I have a lot of friends. Do you have a lot of friends that have gone into rehab?
Not a lot, no. I try and stay away from people that have to quit drinking.
I fucking love you. I fucking love you. Rehab friends, like dudes, buddies with problems are the best. Like,
I have a friend, I've done an intervention for people.
Yeah.
It wasn't an intervention. I had a friend of a friend. She was like a peripheral friend, but I had seen her enough out to know that she was a hot mess, right?
Yeah.
Like passed out on bathroom floors, coke, all of it. Like just a hot mess. And all of her friends were just kind of like, skirting the issue. I go, what's the plan with, let's call her Emily. Like, what's the plan with Emily? And they're like, well, she's just so out of control. We don't know what to do about her drinking. Like, she's such a mess. And I was like, yeah, but we're all drinking and partying with her. So like, somebody has to tell her, like, she's taking it a little bit too far and blah, blah, blah. Who's going to do that? And they're like, well, none of us want to deal with it. So I took this girl, I called her over to my house. I said, Emily, come over. Let's have a cocktail. I want to talk to you. And I bring her outside of my bedroom. We're sitting on the balcony. And I was like, hey, listen, you're a hot mess when you drink. Just so you know, you're a mess. It's not cool. It's not fun. You're like, your friends actually don't want to hang out with you. Like they're plotting ways to like keep you out of things. And that's brutal. Like, I don't want that to ever be your life. I'm like, so I just wanted to tell you, like from woman to woman, you have a drinking problem. Like maybe you can reel it in or maybe you have to go to rehab, but do something. And she didn't end up going to rehab then. She ended up going like 6 months later. Her friends had a proper intervention. And when she was in rehab, they said, tell us the first person who told you that you had a problem. And she was like, Chelsea Handler. And the whole fucking group of people like burst out laughing. They're like, if Chelsea Handler tells you you have a fucking problem, you better listen up. Like, because what is that about?
That's, yeah, I've had to tell people they have a drinking problem and they're like, oh, if you're saying that.
And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I have my shit together, asshole.
Yeah.
Your shit is not together.
I did that with my I was talking to my sister today about it, about people going, hey, your shit's, people, and it's always a weird deflection of someone doesn't have their shit together coming to me going like, I'm worried about you. And I go, you go fuck yourself.
Worried about, yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, there have been times in my life where I've gone overboard with partying and stuff, but I have luckily have had the ability to reel it back in and get my shit together, before anyone ever had to have that kind of conversation with me.
I've done it always at the buzzer.
Yes.
The last one was right at the buzzer. My daughters were like, you were real close to having an intervention. And I was like, I got you before you could say anything. And I think they still wanted to say something, but they couldn't because I got my shit so together.
Right.
Lost 45 pounds and then,
I thought you put on weight. Have you lost weight?
Shut up. That's the fucking...
You have a very cute laugh and a very cute smile.
Oh, thank you.
Very infectious.
I feel like I feel lucky that I got into the thing. I don't know what my personality would have been if I had sold boats,
Oh, I could see you selling boats for sure. Yeah, that would have been where you would headed if you didn't get into comedy.
Probably some luxury item. Because I'm a luxury, like I'm a fun, like extracurricular guy. Uh-huh. Like I'm a fantasy fulfillment guy. So like I could sell you a boat or an RV, or I could tell you about the dream, or I could probably. But that's what I would have gotten into.
Yeah.
What do you think you would have done?
I don't know. I'm not really good at anything. I can barely do anything. I mean, I'm just kind of.
You're good at everything.
No, I'm not. I'm not good at domesticated like stuff. Like I can't cook. I can't clean. I don't know how to do anything to even like keep myself afloat. Like I need constant assistance.
Really?
I'm just a pure creative person.
Okay, tell me. I'm fascinated. Tell me what an average day looks like for Chelsea Handler, and I want to know. Okay. I want to know the Cinderella day. Like I want to like. Because I'll tell you what people probably...
I'm going to find... yeah, go ahead. I'm going to find a day for you.
This is what people imagine. White sheets, silk white sheets. You sleep naked, I'm guessing.
No, I don't sleep naked. I sleep with a bra and underwear.
I think you sleep with eye mask on.
Yeah, that's right.
And you wake up, someone comes in with coffee.
Is this a joint?
I have a joint in my pocket. That's a joint, but I got a fresh one.
Oh, I didn't know if I had to smoke a used one.
No, I got really great ones.
A used joint. Okay, yeah. You think someone brings me coffee in bed? Okay, I see the picture you're painting.
I think I think everything in your house is clean as fuck. You go into the kitchen and there's already someone out there with their laptop open, going like, "Good morning, Chelsea. We have a busy day today." And you're like, "Ugh, can we get an IV today at noon?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "We've already scheduled it." And you're like, "Great. This is why I love you." Here, do you have a lighter?
No, do you? I mean, you are the host, aren't you? I don't understand. Oh, sorry. As usual, I can't see anything. See what I mean?
Here.
I can't do anything. Thanks.
But I think it's, and then I think your day, I think you probably, I don't think you dress like a slob. I think you have like an outfit picked out for the day. And when it comes to like your day, I think it's probably busy. And then something happens with like a late lunch, like a 3:00 lunch. I don't think you're a big eater. I think you pick at food. And then at 3:00, you go to like the Polo Club and you have a dinner or lunch with like Ted Sarandos. And he's like, do you want to have a drink? And you're like, "Oh, a mint julep or something,
right.
Something interesting, not too many of them."
I love
and then
this.
go finish some more meetings, and then you got to work out in there. I think you work out every morning, but then towards the end, a fun night. Like I feel like you get a call from fucking Tom Brady's wife. Like
Giselle.
I'm in town. My friend's got an art exhibit. Would you like to go with me? And you're like, okay. And then you do that, and then you go home and start it all over again.
That's funny.
Is that what it's like?
I mean, a little bit. It's not far off, but I mean, it's not, yeah, it's pretty accurate. But it's not that, like, no, I'm not going to art exhibits and like, I'm not like that. I crash hard. Like I go hard and then I crash hard. So like a lot of times in LA, if I'm here at 7:00 on a Tuesday, I'm going to take a Xanax and go to sleep and catch up for the week. Like whenever I can get sleep in, that's when I get it.
Yeah.
And I can't go hard for more than 3 or 4 days, especially if I'm performing, on the road, which I'm always on tour. Like you're always on tour pretty much, it seems like. You're just exhausted. So, I catch up, but I have a pretty ridiculous life. I'm well aware. I fucking love it.
It's what's the right word? The Bible would say covetable. Like when you decide that you're taking time off to go snow skiing, it is maybe my favorite Instagram to follow because you bring your sisters and your nieces, and it's like, and it seems like I think Ari and I were texting, she's still in fucking Canada.
That's so funny.
We had gone snowboarding and we were like, "Oh, Chelsea's in Canada. That's really cool. She's a great skier." Like, she's actually a really good skier. I think she's doing like fucking hella skiing. I think she's taking a cat up there to go. She like knows what the fuck she's doing. This is powder. Wait, she's in her bra and panties. Shut the fuck up. And then like 2 months later, Ari's like, she's still in fucking Canada.
So ridiculous. I know. It is really ridiculous. I was saying to my friend here, like I was going to get out. We covered this area, but I was going to say what my schedule is like from day to day when I'm here, because in order for me to do that, to go to Whistler for 3 to 4 months, and all I did was tour Canada while I was there. That was pretty much my only work. And coming back to like host the Critics' Choice Awards. It wasn't like I had to spend any great amount of time in LA. In order for me to do that and ski like 50 days a year, when I'm in LA, every single minute is accounted for, like I'm hitting it hard.
Really?
To the point where you have the other morning I woke up, I looked at my calendar and I had like 7 places that I had to be before noon or before 2 p.m., 7 different things. And I just immediately just lit a joint in bed. And I was like, fuck, like, let's get after this. You got to be in a great mood.
I love that
and
energy.
you got to work out. So you're like, strong and strong mentally. And then thank God for cannabis. Like, thank God for marijuana.
Yeah.
It fucking, like, I fly right. Like, I straighten up and fly right with marijuana.
Yeah.
It's when I'm not, like, when I have my regular personality without any additions, that's where I run into trouble.
You were late to marijuana though, right?
I relate to it.
No, you were late to it. Like I remember when you first started smoking and I think you came out with your own brand.
No, I didn't. That fell apart. That never actually happened. It was a plan to come out with my own cannabis brand, but the cannabis market when I was doing that was just like the Wild West. And it was so hard to get something going, especially like because it was like drug dealers meeting corporate executives. You know what I mean? And they were like trying to do business together. So it didn't work out. But I would do that. Now I probably wouldn't have the patience to go through the motions of that. It's a long, arduous process coming up with your own cannabis line. And if it doesn't work the first time, I was like, I'm kind of over it already. I lose interest in things rather quickly.
Really?
I think so.
What's the average lifespan of a boyfriend for you?
I don't know about that. I mean, lifespan.
You've had long ones. You've had
long-term ones. Yeah.
Are you looking for love?
For love? I'm open to pretty much all of it.
You seem like you are. I feel like you are. You know, sometimes the internet gets a hold of a personality and they start to rebrand it. I remember hearing the other day someone was saying, two rock stars were saying, Beyonce and this is so silly. Erykah Badu and Beyonce, they were saying they hate each other, and Erykah Badu was like, I don't hate her. The internet said I hate her, and so that's what everyone thinks the narrative is. I don't hate her. I think she took some of my style, but yeah. And so it's like sometimes the internet goes, right. Oh, she just parties. She doesn't want a boyfriend, and then you hear in interviews, you're like, no, this is cool. I found love, and I think it's one of those things that it's like your branding is. It's like. You know?
Yeah. People think that I just am like, yeah. I mean, I like a free lifestyle. Like I'm a free bird. You know, I like to just like float in and out of whatever I want to do. I don't want to have to really be responsible to anyone.
Yeah.
I want all of that to be a choice. I don't have children, so I don't have to deal with that. I have 8 nieces and nephews who I spend a lot of time with. They're coming with me in a couple weeks to Majorca for 2 weeks. Just my nieces and nephews, no parents, just me and them. So we can properly have a good time without anybody overseeing it. You know what I mean?
Leanne just perked up downstairs. We're talking about moving to Europe.
Oh, moving to Europe.
Just because I'm taking 9 months off. Ooh. And we were looking at places to live for an extended period. And all of a sudden she was like, what do you know about Majorca? And I didn't know anything. It sounds like a place that they'd exile Napoleon.
Oh, no. It's a Balearic island. It's like so cool. It's one of 4 islands off the coast of Barcelona, Spain. So it's beautiful and it's huge. It's not a little island. It's like a mountainous island.
Really?
Yeah. You could do you ride bikes? You ride bikes. Like an e-bike. You can take these like 5-hour bike rides through the mountains. It's like the most gorgeous. People train for the Tour de France in Majorca because it's and the views. It's like very majestic. It's not like an island you've ever seen before. Oh, that's why I bought a house there. I fell in love with the place the first time I went there. I'm like, I have to have a house here, and I want this view. There was a house and there was a view, and I was like, I turned from the front of the house and looked at the view into this ocean, and it's a harbor that feeds out to the Mediterranean. And I'm like, I can't believe somebody has not bought this house for this view. I'm like, I bought it and I had someone build it. It was like a dilapidated seaside villa and it's a fucking monument now. It's so gorgeous. And I go there every year for my family goes there, my friends go there. It's like a magical place, Majorca. Everyone who goes to Majorca comes back and says something's changed. Like it's almost like a spiritual place.
Really? And it's Spanish speaking?
Spanish. Well, yeah, they speak English though.
Oh, but I can speak Spanish. I want to work.
Yeah.
Claro.
Okay.
I grew up in fucking
Necesitamos
Florida.
Ahora. Ahora. Vámonos. Yeah.
I go to Tu Tienes Xanax. I had when I went to Mexico City with Rachel Ray and we got bodyguards, and I kept saying to my bodyguard, I speak Spanish.
Why did you guys have bodyguards? Was Rachel Ray trying to rape you?
Let the internet go with that. And so we know it was just dangerous in Mexico at the time. And so they give us bodyguards. So I took my bodyguard out. I was like, we're going to go fucking party. And I kept saying to him in Spanish, do you want to drink? And he was like, no. I was like, okay. I was like, do you want a cigar? And he's like, no. And I was like, do you want something to eat? And he's like, no, I don't. I'm so sorry. And I was like, okay. And then at the end of the night, I realized I was saying tu tienes as opposed to tu quieres. I was saying, do you have a drink? Do you have cigarettes? Do you have a cigar? And he was like, no. And Rachel goes, when did you find out? And I go, at the end of the night when I said, you have to go to bed with me instead of, do you want to go to bed with me? But he sat outside my door the whole time. Majorca sounds fucking badass. After a hard day, I just want to take a shower and relax. So I love going out on weekends, but sometimes Leanne and the girls want to go visit like an upscale place, which means I've got to step up my grooming game. My go-to solution is an invigorating shower with Cremo men's body wash. You know, someone recently asked me, they go, are you wearing cologne? I don't wear cologne. And I was like, no, it's soap. And they're like, that's not soap. And I was like, oh, actually it's Cremo. It's a new body wash from Cremo. It's time to elevate and enhance your hygiene routine with Cremo body wash. Cremo combines a rich lather and hydrating formulas with meticulously balanced, multi-layered fragrances for a superior shower experience. Cremo's newest men's body wash scent makes a regular shower feel like a luxury experience. Their bourbon vanilla body wash invigorates the senses with bold distiller spices, perfectly balanced with rich notes of Madagascar vanilla and aged oak to create a shower experience that meets even the highest standards. I showered with Cremo after an intense workout, and I felt and smelt great right away. The new vintage suede scent from Cremo is like literally nothing I've ever used before. The scent really evolves as you wash, and it smells incredible. Cremo works with master perfumers to make sure that every Cremo body wash scent is meticulously blended and refined. Their hard work definitely shows. Every wash I've tried smells like a high-end cologne, and I am not a cologne guy. Like, I've never really gotten colognes. I just never wore them. I don't know how you're supposed to spray and walk into them, but it's nice to throw on some soap, get out of the shower, and feel like you came out of a department store cologne shop. I mean, it's nice. The new bourbon vanilla men's body wash is excellent and absolutely worth trying out. You're going to step out of the shower feeling like a new man and like having a drink. Cremo's body wash for men gets me clean, but also relaxes me after a long day, thanks to the rich scents of bourbon and vanilla that immediately fill the shower and my senses. You can find Cremo men's body wash in its new distinctive bourbon vanilla scent at Walmart or at walmart.com. Once again, that's at Walmart or at walmart.com. This show is sponsored by Robinhood. Is your money working as hard as it could be for your future? A decade ago, Robinhood changed the investment landscape when they pioneered commission-free stock trading. Today, they continue to offer innovative products to help users build a better financial future, like IRAs, ETFs, options for qualified traders, or much more. They've got so much. Take control of your financial future with Robinhood. Download their app or visit Robinhood.com to learn more. Disclosure: investing involves risks. Other fees may apply. Robinhood Financial LLC, member of the SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. Majorca sounds fucking badass.
It is badass.
Okay, let me ask you another pivot question.
Okay.
You bought a house. You bought a condominium when you were doing Chelsea lately, down in with a beautiful view overlooking the water. Correct?
Yeah.
Why?
How do you know that?
Because I don't know. But I've always wondered about that.
Why?
But why people buy in a building? What is the draw to buying in a building? Because of the view.
Because like if you're on the water, so it's in the marina and it's the top. Well, they have like 25 floors, say. So it's like the higher you go, the better the view, and you're looking out at the like over the marina. It's the same kind of view I'm talking about in Majorca that I love a view.
Yeah.
So that was that apartment.
So funny because I love views, but I really love I love the land. I love the view of my texture, like of my backyard.
Yeah, right.
I'm not a view guy per se. And I always wondered, I don't know how I came upon that information. I'm sure online.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that again. Although if I was living in a city like, I don't know, maybe if I was living in London and I had an apartment in London, I might do something like that. Probably not. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like it's not a city. LA is a place where you kind of want a yard and a backyard. My new house has a big yard. It will, once they finish cleaning it out. It's been a long process.
For real?
Yeah, yeah.
How does that process start with you?
Oh, don't. Let's not even go there. That's not a positive conversation. We have some good vibes flowing. Let's keep it that way.
What do you want? Like when you take these meetings, like everyone always says to me, and I think it's a gross question. They always say, don't you have enough? Like what are you doing? Like almost like, Bert, you've done everything you've ever thought you were going to do. Shouldn't you retire now? Like a lot of people ask that to me. Not so much fans, but like other comics and other people in the business. Like, and I'm unapologetically ambitious. I like creating things and I like having projects. But I think people probably wanted the same to you. You've done absolutely everything there is to do in a career. Everything. Like, what do you want? Like, when you take these meetings, what is your big white whale that you're like, God, I still want to.
What meetings am I taking that you're talking
Like when you
about?
say I have meetings until 77
I just
places.
mean like, I don't mean meetings.
Yeah.
It's not all business. It's like doctor's appointments. You know, I'm in town for like three weeks a year.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all that kind of stuff. No, I don't take meetings like general meetings like that. No. What do I want? I don't know what I want. I have no idea. It's like whatever I want, I figure it out at the time. I don't have some sort of like 5-year projection.
Did you come into this town with a 5-year projection?
Never.
Really?
Never. I just like, I always just hustle when I need to hustle. And I'm like, when I don't. I don't have like, I'm not super competitive, but I have an ego, you know, and I like to have I take having fun pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And I need to have a real life outside of LA. That is imperative for me as a human being and my mental state. Like I find LA to be very vapid at times and to be pretty stupid, like in terms of people go to bed at 8:00. I also go to bed at 8:00 in LA. And when I'm in Majorca, I don't go to bed at 8:00. When I'm in London, I don't go to bed at 8:00. You know, it's just kind of it's boring here a little bit. So I think I probably want to spend more time in New York. LA is gorgeous because of the weather and, you know, the houses and all of the stuff that you get. And then driving down Sunset Boulevard and, you know, late night or driving down Mulholland late night, like so beautiful, you know.
It's great.
But I've been here also for so many years. So I don't know what we're even talking about right now. How did we get on? LA.
Like I was talking, I must have been talking to either my sister or my wife or maybe my daughter.
So many women in your life.
It's all women in my life.
That's why you're a nice guy.
Well, that's
sort of. That's why you have such a hot body, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of, not really.
I just changed the rules around here. Everyone's got to call me sir.
Yeah, you've got quite an operation running here. This is impressive, Bert Kreischer. You should be impressed with yourself. I mean, I think you probably are, but...
I'm not impressed with myself.
You're not?
No.
Not yet?
I'm underwhelmed by myself a lot.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't know. I look at a timeline. I think I'm going to retire at 56.
Oh, really?
I
see that. I used to think that. I thought, at 40 I'll be done. I'm just gonna bang it out and then I'll be done. And now I'm 49 and I'm still hustling.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you're the best. You are the thing. I don't know the right way to say this, but I've been very lucky to be around a lot of celebrity as of late this last year, and a lot of celebrity sucks. A lot of celebrity is a letdown. They're not the thing you want them to be. They're the thing that celebrity turns you into. And then you get someone like Gronk, who is just Gronk, or Julian Edelman, who's just Julian Edelman, and you. Like when I ran into you at that party the other day.
At Heartbeat Productions?
No. There too.
Were you at a Super Gulp? Your Diet Coke for the day?
All my fucking pictures, I have a big gulp in my hand.
I know, it looks so bad.
I didn't even realize.
It's like to put that fucking drink somewhere else.
I didn't.
You have to hold that drink, otherwise you'll have a cocktail?
No, I knew I knew I didn't want to drink that day. So I was like, I need like a rodeo clown of something to sip on because I'm gonna want to drink something. I'm a beverage guy.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to keep going back and getting little Diet Cokes. Those little Diet Cokes piss me off. So I was like, I'm going to get a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, not for you. Someone your size, I bet those size Cokes would piss you off. They would.
They go down so fucking fast. So fucking fast. And so I got a big gulp, and then I have all my pictures with everyone with a goddamn fucking big gulp in my hand.
I love it. Who's going to give me a refill?
Peter? Christine can.
Or should I just get up and do it myself? I'm happy to get up, but I don't want to ruin our flow.
No. When you travel, what does your travel look like? Is it just because you have some of probably the most epic travels I've ever seen are on your Instagram, and they're not flashy. I don't even think they come off you. I think they come off of the people you're with. Like you took a big cruise with Jenny Mullen and Jason Biggs one time.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like I remember watching these.
Yeah,
fun
I've had some
events.
pretty fun trips for sure. I love traveling. And I love bringing, a random group of like hot messes together. You know, it's
Yeah.
always fun to like introduce your friends to each other and take some ridiculously lavish vacation if you can afford it. Fucking, why not, you know, do it? I had once Nick Nuciforo on a private yacht with me in the Bahamas right before I was playing Radio City for like 3 nights. He and all of like Jeff Wills from Live Nation, we all went. I was like chartered this yacht in the Bahamas, and we took Nick Nuciforo went. And this was when Nick Nuciforo was like, he was like 200 pounds heavier than he is now, right? Did you know him then?
No, I did not.
Okay. So he went off on a jet ski. He had never been on a jet ski before. We have this big yacht in the Bahamas, and he takes off on the jet ski, and it was like he was swept out to sea. Like he was riding into the sunset, like his first man voyage, you know, out into the wild, wild ocean. And we were all just like, is that Nick Nuciforo? And he was gone for 4 hours. Like he must have been masturbating on that, you know, jet ski out in the Atlantic. Like he's sitting there for hours. But yeah, I like that kind of stuff that happens on trips, you know, when you like take someone out of their, you know, give them a trip that they're never going to get. You know, not everybody gets the access to all of this stuff. So
what do you look for in people? Because you seem to collect really interesting, cool people.
Oh, like realness, like people who are real.
Like, what's the thing of a person you've met recently where they say something to you and you go, this is going to be one of my people?
Well, I can tell you something that it makes me realize someone is not one of my people. Like I was out with someone the other day and they were like really rude to a server in a restaurant. And I was like, oh my God, like how could you even do that today?
Yeah.
How could you even possibly be that way? So that was like, no, I can't ever see this person again. But something that they would do that just like an understanding, you know what I mean? Like meeting you, getting to know you a little bit. Like I get you, you're a cool guy. You get me, you respect me, blah, blah. Like you're like, it's a mutual understanding, like, and a respect. Like people, I think are, can be really disrespectful and dismissive of each other. And I think that's not really a nice thing to ever put out, to be dismissive, even though I probably fucking do it all day long, you know? Some guy yesterday I had Ron Funches on my podcast, and he was like, I gave him a hug. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's up? And he's like, hey, what's up? And he was kind of like, you know, not really receptive or like not very effusive, I should say.
Yeah.
And then when we're on the podcast, he's like, do you even know who I am? Like, I saw you the other day at Ted Sarandos' brunch, and you rolled in with Sarah. You got out of the car. Sarah gives me a big hug and a kiss, and you looked at me and just turned around and walked in the opposite direction. I was like, that has nothing to do with you at all. Like, don't worry about it. I'm on another planet, you know? Like, it's not personal.
No, some of your favorite people are my favorite people.
Like who? Fortune Feimster?
Fortune Feimster. I'll tell you what. I can pinpoint times I fall in love with people. Fortune Feimster. I don't even know if she's ever done this on a special. It's my favorite thing she's ever said. If it was in my act, it would be a tent pole of the hour. I was asking her about when she realized she was gay, and she said, "Yeah, I was in college, and it just dawned on me one day, like, oh, maybe I'm gay." And I said, "What did you do?" And she said, "Well, I wanted to meet other gay people, so I started researching gay activities." So I said, so like what? She goes, I took a guitar class. I took a drum circle. I just figured gays would be there. And my heart broke for her. Just imagining a young, not famous Fortune rolling into a drum circle being like,
I know.
Do you like softball? Like, and I was like, oh, I fucking love her.
She's an angel.
She's
without any guile. Like she does not have a negative thought or
Can I get another one too, please, Christine?
mean bone in her body. Like she's just so lovable.
Yeah.
And she's so genuine and also so fucking funny, you know?
Yeah.
And really enjoying her success, which I love to see.
She's really living a great life.
Yeah.
And she's so generous. Like when my movie was coming out, not everyone knows this is how it went down, but like this is the coolest thing. She was like, said to Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, my buddy Bert has a movie coming out. We should do a promotion together where we work out. And he was like, well, if you like him, I'll like him. And I got to work out with Arnold Schwarzenegger for the day. Everyone thinks that it was me that created that moment. It was Fortune saying,
oh, that's cool.
But that's who she is.
Yeah, that is who she is.
Totally. I
also
love my daughters seeing female comics. Like I love that because, you know, there's a thing that I'm certain you've witnessed this online where female comics get dragged by like misogynistic dudes, like women aren't funny, this and
Yeah.
that. But they don't realize that every fucking male
you
comic,
drinking?
same vodka soda.
Oh.
Every male comic, our favorite thing in the world are female comics. It's quite often it's the funniest person in the green room if we're hanging out.
Right.
And that's the crazy thing. And I've loved having my daughters around it where they know them.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, like they're like, this is.
Rosebud's really funny. Rosebud Baker's so fucking funny. I love her. She's a great person too. You know, clear-headed, like she's sober. Normally I would hold that against someone, but not with her, you know.
Yeah.
She's and she has a baby, like 2 strikes for me, you know,
Yeah.
but I still like her because she's smart and real sharp, like, you know, cutting.
Her husband's an amazing skier.
I've heard they were going to come skiing this winter.
Yeah.
They were going to come skiing and then they aborted the mission. So I
Great
don't know what
comic, but
happened.
amazing skier.
Great, terrible comic.
Great comic.
Oh,
Great comic.
oh, oh.
Great comic. Very funny. My Rosebud changed my touring. I didn't allow women on my bus ever. I was like, I don't know what I like. I don't have a problem being naked. And so like I get naked quickly. I don't realize I'm doing it. And I've done it. I've done it quite often. And like I really had a problem with dudes who didn't like me being naked. Like if I got naked, like Peter, please come up and defend yourself. I would get naked and Peter would like, whoa, buddy, we got to say something.
Yeah,
and I'd be
seriously.
I'd be like, no, this is a bus. I'm taking my pants off. Like, we're all living together.
Gross.
We're all living together.
But it's so gross. No one's ass is though in someone else's face. At least you have a covering.
No.
Yes. You're not alone though. Like no one wants to look at your balls or your ass.
We would shit. I have a really great group of friends that we grew up together.
Don't tell me anymore. I can't take it.
We would shit in front of each other and talk to each other while we were shitting.
Ugh.
It was just showered together. Never had a problem. We used to do a thing on the bus called party showers.
Tour buses. First of all, at first I was like, I can't believe you're saying you wouldn't allow a woman on your bus. Now, thank God, no woman has been on that bus. Like fucking.
Well, Rosebud changed it.
And you let her on the bus.
So I brought Rosebud on the bus. And I said it was my birthday weekend, and I knew how funny she was, and I wanted to work with her because I think I was getting ready for something. And she's really smart at like kind of looking at your hour, and I said, just giving you a heads up. Like I don't know how I come off, and so I'm very correctable. So like nothing bad's gonna happen. But like just so you know, this is the first time I've ever had a girl on the bus living with us, and it was like 8 dudes on the bus at the time. And the very first night, Rosebud did the thing I love the best. The thing I love the best in life is camp mentality of when everyone's in bed and they're still making jokes, and everyone's got their curtain open and they're still telling jokes, and it's like fucking 3 a.m. And Rosebud, stone sober, she had filled my bunk with balloons, and I'm afraid of balloons, and she tried to defend it by saying, I said streamers. And I go, how did they misunderstand that, Rosebud? She goes, streamers, I don't know. And then we kept making a joke. I walked in, there was 9 women screaming, oh my God, I said streamers, not screamers. And we kept making that joke. And Rosebud would not let it go. And she kept doing it until like 4 a.m. And I'm in my bunk crying, laughing, going, I can't believe I haven't had more women on this bus. Like this is the energy I love. It's my sisters, it's my daughters, it's my wife. And I literally said to Rosebud, you've changed the way I tour. I'll always allow women on this bus, and I'll change my behavior and be
please
like,
for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody.
We used to do
wants
party
that.
showers where if a guy was in the shower, you'd get in the shower with him
on the bus
and go party shower.
Gross.
Oh, it's the best.
Jo Koy had a tour bus. So when I was dating Jo Koy, there was a couple nights that I spent on that tour bus, and that was enough for a lifetime. I mean, that many men together, it just smells like a sock. One giant cum dumpster sock. That's what that smells like, okay? Men should not be alone for that reason. The reason you should have a woman is so that you don't walk around with your hairy ass out.
Oh, dude, when Catherine Blanford's on our bus, it smells better. It smells better. Like you walk through those bunks and you're like, there's a woman on this bus. Either that or someone's vaping. Like it smells so much better. Yeah, I love living on a tour bus.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't?
That's not my vibe.
Really?
I like to be in a comfortable setting, like a hotel. And I'll just, if like I have a weekend that's outside of Chicago, I'll stay in Chicago and go out to each show each night.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I really like to be like comfortable and in luxury, like when I'm on the road, especially. I can't stay at some, if I'm not going to be like, no, I just can't do that.
Really?
Too many years on the road. Like I got to do it the nice way or I'm not down.
What were the shitty years like?
Oh, I remember staying in a hotel room with Zach Galifianakis in San Francisco at the Punchline. Dave Attell was headlining. Zach Galifianakis was the middling, and I was opening.
What a fucking lineup.
Oh my God. And I fucking bombed every night. And I was like, Dave Attell was my idol. Like he was the funniest thing in the world. Zach is obviously also in the complete opposite direction, kind of funny. And so they were so great. And I just kept going up, opening and bombing. And I was so broke. I had no money. And so Zach was like, Chelsea, you could stay with me at the Commodore Hotel. He was staying at the Commodore. That's where they put the comics up. And I was only making, like $200 a week or something. I couldn't even afford to stay.
$50 a show, probably.
Probably. Yeah. And bombing on top of it. So it was like a double whoopsie doodle. And then so Zach goes, you can sleep at the Commodore with me. And I was like, all right, I guess I don't have a choice, And so I got on his bed and I was like, I'm sure I said, like, don't even try to fuck me. But I'm not sure I said that. But there was one night where we were like falling asleep and he whispers in my ear, he's like, because he was like rubbing my head or I was rubbing his head or something. And I was like, he goes, don't worry, I will never rape you. So from then on, every time we would leave each other, he would whisper to me, don't worry, I will never rape you. Meanwhile, Zach couldn't rape me if he tried, like
especially that Zach back then with his visor on and a scarf.
But Zach is one of the most lovable human beings. Also, he's on that Fortune Feimster frequency, of lovability, because he is a softie. Like I remember, he said to me once, we would just spend all day walking up and down San Francisco that week, and he was comforting me because I bombed, and he was also there when I bombed in Montreal badly. He was there. He walked me to my room. I'll never forget this. It was like the New Faces, and I was supposed to be the it girl. I was like 24 years old, and I just tanked it, and I was like, thought my life was over. Like I was never going to ever recover. Meanwhile, I recovered a week later. So a good story for other people who, come across that to know. But he walked me home after I bombed and he walked me to my hotel room in Montreal. And he's like, and I was like, is it over? And he's like, you're going to need some time alone to think. He shut the door and left me there alone.
How bad was this bomb?
Oh, it was bad. But I recovered quickly.
So what Montreal is this? You're 24, so I'm not even...
I don't know. I think I'm 24, but I'm not sure about any sense of time.
Is that chicken, the chicken year?
Chicken was the year before or after me.
Okay.
Before me.
Okay, so it was the next year.
Yes.
That's when development deals started dissipating because of chicken.
I did get a development deal, but what happened was I bombed so badly in front of all the industry. Every person in the industry that could have been there was there, right? For that Montreal.
Who's your management at the time?
3 Arts.
Still is?
No. And so now I'm with Ocean Avenue Entertainment with Sharon Jackson.
I've met that guy, Dave Becky, 4 times.
Oh, Dave is awesome.
And every time I meet him, I say, I've never met you before.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm always drunk when I meet him.
Yeah.
And he's always like, Bert, we have actually
He's sober
met
too, so it's like tricky with sober people when you're drunk all the time, That's why I tried to stay away from them. So
it's tricky. They hold you so accountable.
I don't. It's like nobody's looking for that. I'm not looking for a fucking sponsor. Okay, I'm looking like I want the least resistance. What was the question?
I want to know about that bomb. Because
about the bomb. Oh, the bomb. Oh, yeah. So I
want to know who, because only Chelsea I know is confident, killing it, fucking the world is your oyster, Chelsea. And I want to know about because I feel like my first 44 years were this bomb. My first
That's brutal.
Oh yeah, I didn't get success.
Bomb.
I didn't get success until I was 44.
It's good. The later the better, I think. The later the better for success. I mean, look at children who get successful. That doesn't work out well. I think the bomb, so I was young. I was probably 20, maybe 24, 27, somewhere around there. And I came back from Montreal, and it was a bomb where my manager and agent were like, yeah, nothing, this is awful. Like, we're just going to have to pick it back up when we get back in town, and hopefully. But the one person that didn't show up to the showcase was NBC. And it was Grace Wu at NBC. So when I got back from Montreal, they set up a showcase that Tuesday night at a place called Luna Park. Did you ever perform there? It's old school. Luna Park, and it's not there anymore. And they put up a showcase, and NBC came, and I crushed it. So I ended up getting a development deal off the heels of bombing my ass off, which is a great lesson for anybody to understand that, like, the winds change that fucking quickly. So just when you're not crushing it, don't fucking freak out, because there's always something coming around the corner. Like, you just can't get pitiful about yourself. You know what I mean? You've got to, like, just get back up and try again, and something else will work out.
When I started podcasting, an online store was literally the furthest thing from my mind. Now I sell t-shirts, koozies, posters, hats. It's so easy, all because I use Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit $1 million in sales stage? Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering free outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout at 36% better on average compared to the other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklyn, and millions of other entrepreneurs from every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to help support success every step of the way, because businesses that grow with Shopify. I'm telling you, man, our online store is so profitable, and it is simply because of Shopify. Simply because they know how to, turning a browser into a buyer is the thing. Getting them to the site is the thing, right? No. Getting them to the site and then getting them to actually buy is the thing. And that is all done by Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Bertcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Bertcast now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Bertcast. Get ready for a night of big fights and big action. It's UFC 303, and it can be even bigger. Jump in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. The light heavyweight title is on the line in the main event, but there's so many more amazing matchups happening in Vegas. And speaking of amazing, if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. I am telling you right now, this is the way to watch UFC. You pick your guy, you place your bet, and you have all the fun and action. You feel like you're in the cage with them. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BERTCAST. That's code BERTCAST for new customers. Get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Get that big fight feel only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. What was the first foray for you, like, into celebrity when you started meeting celebrities? Because you do have a cool Rolodex of people that you casually really know.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the advantage of being a talk show host, is you meet every celebrity. You know what I mean? So if that's the business you're in, it's kind of like, you kind of, and it also, it behooves you to maintain friendships with celebrities when you're in that role. So you kind of, it's your bread and butter. You want people to come on your show and feel comfortable. And especially with me, people were scared of me. So it was hard to get celebrities to come on initially, because they were like, who is this woman? And all she does is make fun of everybody and just like reads everybody. Why would we come on to get roasted? Yeah. And I didn't roast the guests, but they kind of thought, within the context of the show, that's what would happen to them. But I don't know. I mean, I find celebrities to be pretty much the same way you probably do, which is you're like, it's exciting for a few of them, and then you realize everyone's a human being. Yeah. And it's kind of nice to know. It's nice when you meet celebrities and they really like throw you, like really impress you. You're like, oh, wow, you're a real person. Yeah. You're not an egomaniac. You don't just care about your whatever Instagram or taking fucking pictures of yourself all day long. You actually have depth, and you're an interesting person who's curious. Like, that's much more meaningful.
Are you good at texting? Like,
Yeah, I'm better at texting than anything else, really.
really?
Yeah. Like
I'm not good at that.
at texting?
I'm at like maintaining friendships.
Oh, I mean, I'm good. I'm responsive. I'm not initiating a lot of contact, but I'm very responsive to the contact I get.
Who is someone that you came on Chelsea lately that you were surprised by? Meaning, like you were like this is going to be I'm curious, like, because you really did interview absolutely everyone. I'm curious by who you were intimidated by, who you were surprised by, and who is a big letdown.
P. Diddy was a fucking huge letdown.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he came to the show. He was, I think, 2 hours late, and I don't really.
I think I've heard you tell this story.
Yeah, he
keep
was
going,
such
keep
an
going.
asshole, and he sat down in the chair, and I just railed him for about 6.5 minutes, which was his interview time. I basically told him what a piece of shit he is, and that who does he fucking think he is that he can show up 2 hours late. And so that was my worst. Like that's the person I was so disgusted by, you know.
Really?
And now, exactly right. I should have been. And then who was?
It's crazy how they covered that up so much. That how many people must have known
I
it.
mean,
Like, we know who the piece of shits are in our business.
I know. I don't know. Are people covering it up? I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand how you can get away with that kind of behavior. But let's not go down that road. That's not upbeat.
Yeah.
But I guess who
Who
would
are
I
you
be?
nervous by?
Maybe like Jennifer Aniston. The first time I met her, I would be nervous by that. There are certain people that, like, I remember when I did Chelsea on Netflix, there were politicians that I would interview that I would get nervous about because that wasn't, you know, my obviously skill set necessarily. But I feel like when you're nervous, you always have to remember that that's a good, like, that means you care,
Yeah.
right? And not to lean into your nervousness, not try to stop it. To be like, oh, okay, I'm going to get nervous because that's when the good stuff comes out, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I used to do stand up, I would get nervous until I told my first joke and got my first big laugh, and then I'd calm down. But leading up to it was like an hour of like, oh, you know, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to check this. I got to make sure I have my drink here. You know, like, is it going to go well?
Yeah.
Like now I'm in a place in my life where, yeah, it is going to go well.
Yeah.
You don't have to feel that way, like unsure of yourself, because I am sure of myself now. As you get
You're very
older,
sure of yourself.
as you get older,
I was
though.
very impressed by your Kevin Hart, Mark Twain speech.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I was impressed by is that it was organic. It was organic. It was funny, and it was of the moment. It didn't feel like it was staged and prepared. It didn't feel like you stressed over it. And I looked at that and I was like, that would give me so much anxiety. Hosting the Golden Globes or the Critics' Choice, that would give me so much anxiety because it's not exactly what I do well.
Right. I hear you.
Do you get nervous for those things?
But it's also important to know what you do well and what you don't do well.
I just do well talking to my fans.
Right. Or to interviewing people. Like that you're doing something well. Like you don't have to be good at everything. Like that, I know I don't get nervous. Now I've turned that nervous into excitement. Like I get excited, even though I have anxiety. Like I'll be up in Whistler and know that I have to fucking go home for 4 days to go, you know, write my monologue with my hosts or my writers. Sorry, I'm the host. And, you know, get my shit together for 4 days. Like it gives me anxiety knowing I have to disrupt my like winter life, like in a very selfish white lady way, privilege way, not like in a real way. But then I go home. I mean, I go and I do it. And I always know, like, now I know as an adult woman that if I bring the vibes, like the vibes show up, like everyone is going to be in the mood that you are in at the end of the night if you do your job well.
Yeah.
And you can get people to come over and be like, you know, happier, and you can set the tone for the evening and make people have like, you know, to me, I find the most memorable laughs that I've had, other than with the people that I love that are in my life, are with strangers when we're together in a situation and we don't know each other and we're laughing. And that's what a comedy show is. You're sitting next to a stranger and hopefully you're laughing so hard next to someone that you've never met before, and you're like leaning on each other laughing. Like that to me is kind of the definition of like the vibe I want to bring around. you know? Like, let's all have a good time together. We're all going to fucking blow up soon anyway, or I'll be put down.
Yeah, I think that's so crazy. I forget sometimes when you do these shows that they don't know each other.
No, and
They
they're
didn't grow
they're
up
coming together. They have a commonality. It's like the most beautiful kind of human interaction. If you're going to ever say anything beautiful about stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
because it's not that beautiful, but it is kind of like the best essence. It's the essence of it, right? It's the essence of you're there to bring joy. Like I remember when I was on Chelsea Lately and I was writing like all these books and I was on tour. I mean, I went for 4 years around and around and around and around and burned myself out so much because of that, because I didn't take a break. But I remember like not understanding the responsibility of the job, which is to provide joy. It is to provide, forget about what's happening in the world, actually take an hour and a half and like forget and laugh with someone. And when I was younger, I did take that for granted. And I would be, I kind of abused my own position. So now I'm like, oh, I don't fuck around with that. Like, I'll have a drink before I go on, but I'm never going to get buzzed. I'm never going to be out. I'm never going to be drunk on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't do that anymore. That's just not acceptable. Like the other day, I remember I was like, oh, I had to deliver some speech somewhere. Maybe it was one of these Netflix events. I had to say something. And I was like, oh, I was doing my show and I had to go on last, which meant I had to go on at 9:30. And it was a Saturday. And I'm like, I had to go to all those parties. I was with you. And I'm like, fuck, I can't even have a drink because I have to go on at 9:30.
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest struggle is just remaining sober so I can have a drink after. But I did, of course, because I'm like, no, because if I start drinking now, it'll be a shit show.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, it's also about you being responsible about your career, right?
I think
You're responsible. You said the same thing. You said you don't like to drink on show days.
I don't like to drink before show days. I don't mind, like if I'm doing, I think there is a value in being hammered on stage every now and then, especially when you're en route with your material and it's a little bored and tedious.
Mm-hmm.
I've found that some of the best fixes in my hour have been when I go up a little lit and I fuck it up and I'm forced to think in the moment.
Do you smoke a lot of weed?
I don't. Yeah, I do. What am I talking about? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I smoke more weed than you'd imagine.
So why did you just say I don't? What's that about?
I have no idea.
How long is this interview, by the way?
I don't know why. Are you done?
No, I'm just curious what time it is.
We've been going for like an hour, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How are you doing over there, buddy?
I'm trying to get this joint open.
For yourself?
Yeah.
I did a Tiffany Haddish's book event the other night. I interviewed her at Barnes & Noble for her new book called I Will Curse You with Joy.
Oh, she just said that the other day. She said that the other day.
She must have been promoting her book.
She was getting into beef.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Someone lit her up. People, I don't know. The internet's fucking gross. Are you on the internet a lot?
Not really.
Really? Do you have a social media manager that runs everything?
Yeah.
Nice. Your Vegas promo is pretty fucking great.
Oh, thank you. It was so fun. We got up, so we had to get up at 4 a.m. to get on the plane at 5 because I didn't want to sleep in Vegas. So I was like, okay, we'll all get on the plane. So I bring my like hair, makeup, my crew. There's like 8 of us that go to Vegas for this shoot, this marketing campaign. We're already shooting with Doug. I bring my dog, Doug, my new dog, who's fucking magical. He's so handsome. This guy is so good looking. And I bring him and we shoot in the pool at the Cosmopolitan. Mm-hmm. The theater is called the Chelsea. So I'm performing inside myself, basically, this residency, which starts on Labor Day weekend. They were like, okay, I said, listen, I can't spend a lot of time in Vegas. So we've got to make this schedule palatable for both of us. And they said, okay, what about like once a month, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, like Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I was like, great. That sounds perfect. Once a month for the next 2 years. So we're shooting all the marketing. My
once
dog,
a month for the next 2 years?
My dog urinates on 2 different beds in the suite that we're staying in. And we shoot all day. We shoot with like the guys from Thunder Down Under. We shoot at the blackjack table. I have my dog with his paws and a bow tie at the blackjack table winning. And then as we're leaving, our plane was leaving at 6 p.m. I had this plane scheduled for us to return to LA. And I said, okay, we all have to gamble together to set the tone for this residency. Like, I'm pretty serious about gambling. Like, I'm pretty lucky. And I need to get people, I can infect other people with my luck. So I was like, everyone sit down and you're going to gamble with me. I'll give you money. And I said to the casino manager, I was like, hey, I'm going to need to borrow like $1,000. And he's like, okay, but I was like, welcome to my residency,
Yeah.
like you're going to be giving me a lot of money that I probably won't be paying back. But anyway, I gave everyone money and everyone won. Everyone who had never gambled before, I told everyone what to do. I was like, follow my lead and do. And everyone won $500. I won $1,400. And then we had to get out and leave and fly home. And I was like, now we've set the tone.
Yeah.
Now the Cosmopolitan is going to be a happy, fun place to gamble.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wait, luck is my thing. I believe in luck more
Well,
than
I don't know
hard
how
work.
lucky you are if you didn't
I'm
get
the
successful
luckiest.
until you're 44.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world. There was a group of guys. Butch, you remember Butch Bradley?
Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah, Butch Bradley. Butch Bradley.
Comic?
Yeah, comic. Steve Byrne, Mike Young, Brad Ernst, Sebastian Maniscalco. We were all at a craps table. And I said, just so you know, I'm the luck. I won't bet right now, but I'm the luckiest guy, or a roulette table. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Put a bet down, you'll win. And Butch Bradley put $100 down on a number and it hit. And everyone turned. They're like, holy shit. I believe in luck. And I believe if you identify your luck, that more luck shows up.
Yeah, you have to be very grateful for everything that's happening, and then you get like more abundance of everything that's happening. That is true.
Yeah.
Because energy is true. Like if you have good vibes, people know. And if you have bad vibes, like if you're in a shitty mood and you try to pretend you're in a good mood, everybody knows anyway. So why not just stay home?
I started saying, I noticed that when the girls were young, I was doing a lot. I was working Travel Channel and doing stand-up, not making a ton of money, but doing both. And I would drop them off at school and people would go, how you doing? And I would say, fucking exhausted. And then I thought, one day I was like, I'm putting that in the universe.
Yeah, right. I know. I don't like to say I'm exhausted either.
And now if anyone ever asks me how I'm doing, I go, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. I just say my life is insane. Like that covers both bases.
Yeah.
A, I'm fucking struggling. And B, I'm really grateful. My
Yeah.
life is insane.
I love the insanity of life. I love to wake up. And when you said I love to wake up and go, you know what song I listened to this morning? Alive. Because I was listening to it last night. The only thing, I never listened to it young this way, but the way I looked at it last night was, I am still alive. That's the most important fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm alive, I'm here, and I'm watching the greatest, probably rock star of my generation kill it. 60 years old, and he's still fucking doing backbends on stage.
Oh, no. Yeah. That was hot.
That was fucking
He really
incredible.
knows how to move around. I like his moves too.
Yeah.
Because he's not dancing. You know what I mean? He's just moving.
He's moving, and his voice is like,
So distinctive.
and has so much range. I was trying to pick apart what makes his voice so magical.
Did you get to give him a blowjob after the show like you wanted to?
I would have.
I was trying to set that up for you.
I did.
You came into
I didn't want to fuck it up. I feel like I already
You-
bothered his wife.
Oh, really?
And so I said stuff I wouldn't say to people because I was nervous. And you know what I said. Like I just was like, couldn't pronounce names right. And then, where did you grow up? Why the fuck am I asking where she grew up? Are we gonna where did you grow up? She says, fucking wherever she said. And I go, I've never met someone from there. And she's like, really? And I was like, why the fuck am I talking? I was like, Chelsea, you want to get a drink? And you're like, wow, that was awkward. You go, can you not look at her like she's the most perfect woman in the world? And I was like, was I doing that? You're like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was immediately,
She's very beautiful. Yeah. So that's hard. I understand.
yeah,
She is. She doesn't. You get lost looking at her.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was distracting.
Yeah. You were distracted.
I was like, I got to go back to my wife. And then, but yeah, so I was like, sometimes I don't want to meet my favorite people.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was like me and Bill Cosby. Like I loved Bill Cosby, and then I met him, and I was like, what a dick.
Really?
Yeah.
You met him before the...
Before it was during his assault on women.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much a lifelong pathology.
He wasn't taking a break from that?
No, I don't think it was any peak moments. I think it was
on hiatus.
steady drugging of women. Yeah.
You were a big Cosby fan?
I loved Bill Cosby growing up. Yeah. I thought that was just like kind of like, I thought he was more professional than my dad. Like he seemed professional. My dad was a used car dealer. So I was like, you're not professional. I need a professional father. And I liked Bill Cosby. And I wanted to be one of the Huxtables. Like I fucking loved that family. Rudy and Vanessa, I wanted to be their sister. And
I was doing a fitting yesterday, and the shirt didn't fit. My hand didn't go in one sleeve, and I said, "Oh, it looks like a Gordon Gartrell," and no one knew what a Gordon Gartrell was. Do
I
you
don't
remember?
either.
Pull up Gordon Gartrell. It was the funniest episode of the fucking Cosby Show ever.
Oh.
Theo wants the expensive shirt, and he
Theo.
says his dad says he's going to buy it from him in the last minute. He buys it for him, but Vanessa says, "I can make that shirt." Do you remember this episode?
Oh, yeah. I do remember this episode. I know what you're talking
Gordon
about.
Gartrell. That's the Gordon Gartrell, and then the one it's the
So
other
you love
picture.
Cosby too, then?
Well, no, I didn't like his stand-up.
Oh,
I
I
didn't
don't think I listened to his stand-up. I don't think I listened to anyone's stand-up.
Really?
No, I never wanted to be a stand-up. It wasn't like I was so obsessed with stand-up. It just seemed like the right fit. Like, I like to talk and not be interrupted, and like I have things to say. So I was like, oh, that's good. I mean, it was hard to get into trying to do it because it's so scary, to get up and tell jokes in front of people. But I was like, oh, I'm just always telling stories anyway.
You were naturally a great stand-up, and I would say, I don't know if you recognize this, you became a vibe of the way girls behaved on stage. Did you ever notice that? Like, you had a great joke. My friend got pregnant, and we were all celebrating. And I was like, "Big whoop! I've been pregnant. You get rid of it." What was that? Do you remember that joke?
I remember how to joke about having a baby. Like, do you have to get? You can drink while you're pregnant if you're planning on giving the baby up for adoption. Yeah, that was like my first joke.
But it became like a vibe of women talking like confidently about that
that's
stuff.
a compliment.
And I don't remember, I never saw that before that.
Well, I love that. If that's true, great. I love that.
Really? Do you follow stand-ups at all now?
I do now. Yeah, I love watching people. I just like what everyone's capable. Like, it's just so much fun to be around comics, right?
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of friends in New York that are comics, that are younger comics, that I have had a lot of different people open for me. And, it's cool to be around that like vibe, because everyone's kind of coming into their own and everybody takes a different path in comedy. You either end up with a late night show or your own TV show, or you're in movies, or you're just in stand-up. You know what I mean? Like, it can be so many different things. So it's kind of nice. Like, that's what I really found to be endearing about the festival. Netflix is a joke festival. It really did feel like a festival. Like, I saw so many of my comedian friends. Every time I went, I would see somebody I had forgotten about, like, oh my God, yeah, you.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a nice event to have in LA to remind comedians. Because I think when you're on the road, for me, I'm on the road. I don't come and do spots at the Comedy Store when I'm downtime. Like, I don't do that. But I know a lot of people do. So I don't get to see a lot of comics.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of headliners don't see a lot of other comics, because you're not necessarily you're all touring.
I hadn't seen Mike Epps in probably 22 years. Well, I take that back. I ran into an airport one time.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't see, I come to the place where I go, you know who I am? Like, I'm always shocked if someone knows who I am. So like, but I ran into Mike Epps. I hadn't seen, we used to hang out a lot in New York. He was like, Bert. And I was like, do you remember me? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. I was so excited. But you don't, like, I had never met Cat Williams. And that was like fucking wild.
What was that like?
So Cat Williams, when he did Shannon Sharp's show, they said, are you ever going to do Rogan? And he was like, no, because he just has the same unfunny four motherfuckers on all the time. And I was like, oh, I'm definitely one of those four, right? Like, I was like, I'm definitely one of those four. Me and Tom, we all started texting each other like, are you in that four? And then I ran into Cat, and he was so fucking complimentary. And, he was in that outfit. So I didn't know it was Cat. And when we were at that party, he had the mask on.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he had like a...
Why?
I don't know. Because he's Cat.
Oh.
And he came up and he goes... And I was like, I was waiting. I knew what I was going to say. I was going to fuck it up. If I'm better if I don't get to talk.
Yeah.
And he came up and he said,
most men are.
And he said, you're a fucking rock star, Bert Kreischer. And I went, really? I go, well, you know who I am? And he's like, hell yeah. He's like, I've been trying to take my shirt off on stage for 20 years. They won't let me take my shirt off. I can't even wear a vest. You take your shirt off, you're a fucking rock star, Bert Kreischer. Don't ever stop taking your shirt off. I was like, from Cat Williams' mouth to God's ears, I'll be fucking 56. I'll be 60 years old with my fucking shirt off. Well, how come you haven't taken your shirt off on stage?
I mean, that's not for stage for me.
Yeah, but it could be.
I mean, I've taken my shirt off before. I'm sharing.
Yeah.
I'm not private.
No, it's
about my body.
I'm not private about my body.
No. And well, some people would argue that you should be based on what's happening. But I mean, I don't find it offensive. I don't find your body offensive.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I find your body unoffensive as well. Can I ask a question you can totally not? This is something I've always wondered, and we can take it out of, I don't know if you don't want to talk about any of this, but like, so the first time you and Jo Koy hook up, did he go home and get his sleep mask, or did he go, I have to go home because I'll die in my sleep? I know he cannot sleep without that thing.
He didn't sleep over.
Yeah, that's what I've been dying to know. If Joe was like, this was so cool,
I
have to go home or I'll
and
die.
I think I was like, what's that? Like, what is that? I think it sounded like somebody was dying. I'm like, whoa, get, like, I don't want to deal with that. So
he's so sexy until he has to put that fucking mask on.
No, it's not sexy. No, it's not.
The sleep
mask? Not sexy for anybody. No, like that's not. I mean, that means you really love someone. Seriously.
Yes.
It's like,
totally
yeah. That's real. It's real. It's not hot. It's not hot.
Because he's such a cool, slick, fucking awesome dude. Until he'll
be the first person to tell you it's not hot.
Oh, he when I had to do a sleep test and he hit me up. He's like, oh, I'll show you what I got. And I was like, you sleep with that? He's like, if I die if I don't. And I was like, oh. I was like, how does that work in life? and then I heard you guys were dating, and I was like, so what, does he bring that? Does he come over with like a briefcase? And he's like, and you're like, oh, I guess you think you're spending the night. He's like, do you have I need a 9-volt outlet. It's such a hit. It's more uncomfortable to put a condom on, I think.
I think he told me a story where he tried to use it once on a plane, like an international flight, and it blew out all the voltage in first class because
it's fucking hysterical. It made me giggle so much that the fucking, I don't know. It also gave me, I don't know. I gotta change subjects. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex. Guys, do you remember the days when you were always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. Process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Best part, all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and definitely no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. I don't know what I like more, taking a Blue Chew and getting ready for the night or the night itself. I love you know what? Let's get after one tonight. I love that feeling. Look, I've talked ad nauseum about this, but Leanne and I are going through a moment. And these Blue Chews, man, you're ready whenever, wherever. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex too. So discover their options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Bertcast at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Bertcast, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I would like to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. What brands do you like?
In general?
Yeah, like I'm a brand guy. Like
I'm not a brand person.
No, meaning like there's brands I fall in love with. Like I'm in love with Lucky Jeans. I'm in love with James Purse shirts. Like there's certain brands that I find very comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I always think you'd be someone who'd be like, oh, I absolutely love this. I've been,
Yeah, I'm sure there are, but they're tough to name off the top of my head.
Really?
I mean, like,
Do you do your own shopping?
No.
I fucking love you. So wait, how do clothes show up at your house?
My stylist will bring clothes over, and then like through a fitting, she'll bring like regular clothes, and then I like kind of shop through that and say, oh, this is cute. Let's take this and let's buy this, and then so I don't do a lot of shopping. No, I'll shop for other people, but not for myself.
Really?
I'm not interested in that.
Are you good at buying presents?
No, I'm terrible. I have my assistants do that. I mean, whatever you get from me, I will compliment you on.
Yeah.
Without having any idea that I was the one that gave it to you. Like I'll be like, oh my God, that bag is so nice. My sister's like, you gave it to me for Christmas. I'm like, that's amazing. You know, like I am such a terrible friend in that way. I'm a great friend, but not for gift giving. I don't have patience. I don't want to go to a store and deal with that transaction.
Yeah.
And then they have to ask you if you have like a club membership or if you've been there, what's your address? Why do they need my address? I just want to buy something. When did it become so complicated?
Oh, I can't. My problem with buying presents is I just think about me and the things I want.
Yeah, of course.
And I go,
So
I don't.
me too.
Yeah. And
I only know what I want. I don't know what you want.
I'm always shocked that people don't get me what I want.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty loud about it too. It's also shocking. It's like, why are you getting me like a coffee cup? I've said repeatedly that I don't drink coffee. Like you're not listening at all. I don't drink coffee. And so don't get me a coffee cup system and ask me where it is when you come over. That's another thing I hate about people who give gifts. Then when they ask you if you got the gift, it's like, hey, now you're really searching and now I have to go figure out where your fucking gift is.
Oh, I don't
say thank you, you know?
I'm not a big, I remember one time for my birthday, I didn't turn out well, but I wanted to just do a GoFundMe for my friends and family to go, just give me the money you'd spend on me and then I'll buy what I want.
Right. It didn't go well?
No, because I guess the GoFundMe went public. I didn't realize it was for everyone. And then people started going like, you want us to give you money for your birthday? And I was like, no, that's not what I fucking wanted. I just wanted for my friends and family, but it went to, I set it up for everyone.
Yeah.
And like Rogan was the first one. He's like, dude, what do you need? I'll buy it for you. Take this GoFundMe off. I was like, a grill. I wanted a grill. I wanted a fucking really badass Viking outdoor grill.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I just bought it for myself.
Yeah.
But it was also when I didn't have a ton of money. So I was like, I'll just buy it for myself so I don't have to take down this GoFundMe.
Yeah. Do you know how much money you have? Like, are you paying attention to your money now or you just let your wife do that?
No, I know I had a meeting the other day. I found out how much money I have yesterday.
Because your wife told you?
Yeah. As a matter of fact.
You had a meeting with your wife?
No, and our business manager, they brought me in and they were like, we need to have a meeting with you. And I get fucking panicked. I go, I'm not part of it. I don't want to be a part of it. Just let me know what's the details. And they're like, it's a good meeting. And they brought me in. They said, gave me a pie chart of our money. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I never really paid attention to money. I just never, not that I didn't care. I did care. But I just figure if I'm working and I'm making it, I don't have to worry about it. Like as long as I'm working and with this taking the 9 months off, I was nervous. I was like, what are we going to do for money? And they're like, you're okay.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Crushing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know how much money you have?
Not exactly.
Could you ballpark it?
I wouldn't trust my ballpark of anything. I'm not really like, I have an idea that I'm okay. Like I don't have to panic or anything, but I don't know. Like I couldn't, I don't think if I had to if I stopped working now, I would have to like pare down my lifestyle.
Really?
Yeah. Like I couldn't just live like this. Like I'm living, and take vacation like all the time. Or
so do you look at your year that way where you go, we got to put in some work so we get to live?
Yeah. Like I've been working pretty hard for the last couple of years. So this year will be a big year. And I think next year, like I have my residency in Vegas. That's once a month. I don't know that I'll tour again immediately after I'll do my next special at the end of the year. So I'm kind of like, I'm touring throughout Europe for this tour, Australia, New Zealand. I'm going everywhere. So I'm going to want a break next year. So I'll be like, my book will come out. How
do you separate? By the way, the interview can be over whenever you want, or we can have another drink and I can ask you a couple more questions.
Okay. Well, you can ask me a couple more questions, but I don't think I need to have a third drink. Like really? I've had 2 vodkas and it's what is it? 1?
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah. I feel like my eyes, and I'm stoned. How do I look? Do I look fucked up?
No, you look great. I'm the wrong person to ask.
You can keep asking me questions though. I'm down.
How do you separate material from the book for your stand-up?
There's a lot of overlap actually, but I think with books, you're giving much more detail and you're giving stories. Like I'm retelling, like I have this crazy Andrew Cuomo story because I was trying to fuck Andrew Cuomo during the pandemic because he was so in charge of us. I was so turned on by his authority.
Oh, Andrew Cuomo. Can I tell you who I thought you were talking about?
Who?
Andrew, who's the guy that sent all the dick pics?
Andrew,
Andy Weiner.
Andrew? Anthony
Weiner. I was like, Anthony.
No. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York.
Can I have one more, Christine, please? I remember when you were trying to have sex with him.
Yeah. And we were getting very close to having sex. And then it was someone who came in and saved me from, some other universe or something, because I kind of always get out of these sticky, because I would have been canceled if I had been his girlfriend. Like if that had come to fruition, I would have because he was like a sexual predator. Like he got in trouble for like,
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah.
His brother's the CNN guy.
Yeah. Chris Cuomo.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I forget, what was the question?
You had this great story about having that.
So that's in my stand-up, but the details aren't like in the book. It's more of a much longer chapter, because in stand-up you're telling a story with punchlines. You're not getting into the nitty-gritty details.
So you don't mind them overlapping a little bit?
No, a little bit is okay. Some of it overlaps with my old, like my last book, this stand-up. Like it always kind of overlaps because it's my storytelling, They're all kind of intertwined, and some I give a lot more detail, and some is just a punchline, but not the whole thing, of course. Yeah, you don't have it all overlap.
Do you enjoy writing?
I enjoy reading, and I enjoy.
You enjoy reading?
Yeah, I'm a big reader. I like to read lots of books.
All right, what are you reading?
I'm reading a book right now called Hamnet. And
what's it about?
About Hamlet, the Shakespearean. Remember the play Hamlet?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's about that. It's about how that idea came into being of Hamlet. So It's like literature. Yeah. I'm reading that. And I'm reading a bunch of other things. I read when people are on my podcast, I have to read their books.
You read their books?
Yeah, I do. I read, the other night I did Tiffany Haddish's book event at Barnes & Noble. I read her book.
How fast do you read a book?
As fast as I need to.
No, but are you a good reader?
Yeah, totally.
Really?
I'm reading. It's important to be smart. Like I'm smart, and because I read all the time. Like I know what's up and what's happening, and like I know, what's going on. And I think that's important to know what's going on. Otherwise you're like, you could be in the head. Like I don't read the news every day, and I'm not like getting involved because it's so stressful and so upsetting.
Yeah.
But like, I need to know what's going on.
Really?
Yeah.
So like, do you read self-help books?
I have. I don't typically read. That's not my reading.
Yeah.
Really. Usually.
I listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I just listen to a couple news podcasts, and that's
really?
It. Yeah.
What are your podcast go-tos?
Like the New York Times, like Daily Briefing, or like Pod Save America. I like those guys.
Yeah.
I'll listen to Handsome Pod with Fortune because she's so funny. And Tig, what a great trifecta that is.
And Mae Martin on that.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
You guys used to do shows together all the time, right?
Who?
Weren't like
Fortune?
Right? Or
yeah. My daughter's my wife. Fortune's like a family member. They love her, and so we do Fully Loaded every summer, where we take like 30 comics out on the road. And do
that's arenas. What I'm talking about. Yeah.
And we'd always bring Fortune because Fortune just is. She's like fucking Prozac. She's always in a good mood.
Yeah.
She's not like talking shit, just fun.
Yeah,
I like a good shit talk though.
No, of course. I'm
a good gossip. I wanted to get on Chelsea Lately so bad because I was obsessed.
Really? What happened? Were you ever on?
No, I wasn't. I don't know. There was a guy that was like the executive producer. His kids went to school with us.
Brad Wallach, Tom Brunel.
I don't know. I'm not good with,
Right.
And he was like, you should get on.
Of course,
I was like, I'd love to. And then, but it wasn't, it never happened. But I was obsessed with celebrity entertainment.
Pop culture.
I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
It was my whole newsfeed was that. I loved it. I don't know why.
I was into it for a while too. But then when your job became about it, you're like, you have no interest left.
Yeah. Did you know 50 Cent was as cool as he is when you met him?
No, he's pretty cool.
He's so much cooler.
Now.
Like I feel like he's grown into this like dude that is absolutely fucking hysterical.
Well, he called P. Diddy out, remember?
Yeah.
That was good.
He's been fearless.
I like that.
Did you ever see his Floyd Mayweather stuff?
I've heard about it, but I don't really know about it. What's the story?
It's the funniest thing. I almost feel like I don't do it justice telling it. During the Ice Bucket Challenge, he was like, yo, Floyd Mayweather, I'll give you $750,000 to any charity you want if you can read one page of Harry Potter out loud with no mess ups. He said, and then the next post, he said, hey, all jokes aside, I want everyone to know that I think Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer that's ever lived. Heads up, can someone please read this to the champ? He is so good. He is so good.
That's fucking funny.
And I felt like you were an early adapter to like almost like this crossover appeal of 50 Cent. And I was like, was he that funny when you hung out with him?
No, but he's cool. He's cool.
He's cool as fuck.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, did I know he was that funny? No, I don't think so. But he's very cool. Like, I remember meeting him in New Orleans, and I was like, okay, he kept trying to take me. He was like, I want to like date you, you know, I'm into you. And I was like, no way, get away from me. He's like a rapper, you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
definitely not. And then finally he kept like sending me these like flowers. And then finally I was like, he kept calling, and I said, okay, well, I'm on tour, so I'm going to New Orleans. You're welcome to come, but like, I'm not, you know, available for a date, you know? And so he came to New Orleans, and then he came to my show. And after the show the next morning, or the morning of my show or something, I was like, let's go for a walk. And he's like, oh, I can't really go outside. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, no one's that famous. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, no, I can't. And I'm like, yeah, you can. We're going for a walk. You can walk. And it was a shit show. Like, from the minute he hit the streets, there was like everyone came up to him. I have never seen anything like it. And I was like, oh, he really can't go out. Like, it's a fucking situation.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to like dress, like, you know, camouflage yourself a little bit. Like, because I hadn't seen that. And it was like every person was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so that was cute because he really was trying to tell me like, it's not a good situation.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
Did you like his music?
No, I mean.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to all sorts of music. I don't really have a good ear for music, so don't ask me my opinion on music. It's wrong. No, I didn't listen to his music. I mean, he's so like just an adorable like spirit, you know, like he's fun to be around. He's sweet. He never smoked pot when we were together. Like my friends are like, you're dating 50 Cent and he doesn't even smoke weed. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. And he's like, well, I'll get you weed. He's like, if you need weed, I'm like, yeah, what do you mean you'll get us weed? I'm dating a rapper. I want some fucking good shit, you know? Like, are you fucking delivering or what?
So wait, this is a horrible.
And he was the sweetest. He was so sweet with my friends. Like, you know how some people are just, especially in Hollywood, maybe you've picked up on this, that people aren't very interested unless, you know, in your plus ones, you know, people are less interested in them than they are in you. And that kind of grosses you out, you know? And he was someone who was very interested in my whole family. My sisters met him. They loved him. And they met him I was doing like the Prudential Center in Jersey. And he was backstage at one of my shows. And my sisters were like, oh, we're both so in love with Curtis. He's so sexy. He's so masculine. He's so big. He's so big. Like, that was the thing. He's so big. You know, you feel like you're tiny. You're like, oh.
Yeah. This is a weird question. When you'd go out to eat with him, did his culinary tastes, were they adjacent to his financial standing?
That sounds very racist.
No, but it's like you ever meet someone who didn't grow up rich, and they don't hold a fork and knife right, or a
lot of people don't know how to hold a fork and knife. By the way, what's that about? What's going on with that?
I will correct people.
I don't like that. That's like one thing. If you don't know how to use a knife, like you have to cut your food. You can't just cut your food with a fork.
And some people get rich and they still
die trying. Sorry.
But yeah, and so I always, like, whenever I'm around celebrities that I know didn't grow up with money, I always look to see what they order, not based on their color, but what they order. Athletes are a big one. What they order and how they hold a fork and knife.
Yeah, well, that's racist. So
By the way, edit his name out. It's
don't leave his name in then, please.
I love watching people with money use a fork and knife. It's my favorite thing.
It's actually come up a couple times in recent, like in the last few years, there have been some shocking situations where I was like, wait a second. Like, you need to be able to use a fork and a knife. It's actually just the most courteous thing to do.
I stopped our assistant, one of my assistants, Kyle. We were having dinner one night, and I said, hey, I'm going to stop you right there. And I said, you know, you're not holding your fork and knife right. And he's like, there's a right way to hold it? I went, absolutely. And I showed him how to use a fork and knife.
We have to go.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Jesus.
It's 2:00?
It's 2.
This is podcasting, Chelsea.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked being here. I liked it. I enjoyed myself today.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I enjoy you. I really, I've gotten a kick out of you the whole time I've been in stand-up. You've been a joy to watch. I love everything you do. And
thank you. That's so nice to hear. Thank you.
And like the coolest things I ever hear, like, you know, we'll have shows that are adjacent. Nick will be like, hey, giving you a heads up. I'd love to come to your show at the Forum, but Chelsea's there, so I'm going to stop by a little bit. But Chelsea's. I want to split time. I'm always like, it's so cool that I'm in the same because it's just a neat thing to go like, oh, so you're going to my show and Chelsea's show? Oh, that's badass. I think it's
love
cool.
it.
Yeah, but you're awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, I had a really good time with you, and I like you very much.
I probably like you more.
I believe that.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.